Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. Hopefully we are live. Uh, Today's the end of our 5-day trip. I'm actually about to evac out and get picked up. Our time had changed. I'm actually getting picked up this morning compared to this afternoon. So that's why we moved camp and stuff like that. But I'm glad I am. There's some news I've got to follow up on when I get home. As you see in the title, Russia, um, possible attack on America. Excuse me, rough throat. So this is something that a good friend of mine, airborne prepper, our tent life, when he was down here taking my survival course back in February, we were discussing this around the campfire. We're trying to figure out when the U.S. might be getting involved with everything. I believe it's propaganda from Zelensky. Yeah, this is what I'm going to touch on. So back with Syria, we had chemical attack reports, things like that, and of course, the U.S. was all up in arms over it and everything else. And it's kind of funny, if you guys actually do some research and stuff, most of those chemical attacks that we always see in these conflicts are U.S. military equipment. In other words, hence Fast Freddy events. Fantastic Freddy. Yep, exactly. That's what I'm believing it is. Do countries use chemical weapons? Yes, they do. But even though our current administration keeps saying we are not going to go toe-to-toe with Russia because it will start World War III, I've been saying it. Wait till we start seeing supposedly chemical attacks. The United States will be getting involved with this, and it will go a global conflict. The thing is, they're just going to make sure that the United States looks like the saviors. The fact is, though, the United States has been so involved in pushing this war and narrative. They want it. NATO wants it. Bait. This isn't bait. Um, NATO wants it. The United States wants it. The world is broke as far as economic wise. Here we got another uh, pandemic that's going to be coming through. I just saw old Fauci back in the news. Yeah, I have my cell phone out here, guys. I keep track of the news. I have to be responsible. I have to keep an eye on many things. Mass confusion. I'm reading the chat when it pops up, guys. We will be going to conflict. Food prices are getting very stupid. They're going up. We've been saying they were going to be going up. I believe it was Germany. Food prices had 20 to 50% increase. I was shown the price of rice in my local area, a 50% increase. Went from $11 to almost $16. It's 50%. We also have to look at the new orders that they're trying to, the one world policy governments that they're wanting. I'm trying to phrase certain things, guys. Certain words are flagged. It's just the way it is. For them to push, come on, dude. I see you in the chat. Don't text me right now. I'm on a live stream. So then I get distracted, in which I'm distracted. I mean, come on, guys. The ones that have my number when I'm on my live stream out here, don't be texting me. I can see you in the chat. Why is Zelensky trying to bait WW3? I have no idea what that man does, what he thinks what he's doing. No one does except for him. You can look at many different type options. There are many different ways to look at things. Many rabbit holes you can go down. Some say that he's part of this whole thing with Russia. Others say, which more leaning to, well, one, he was put in office by our administration. He is pretty much a puppeteer of this administration. And he can chase down everything, all the ties for Ukraine and this administration's son. So our current president can sit there and say we don't want war, which is complete BS. Here's another thing: his polls are so freaking bad. The only thing that really saves most administration is a conflict. The way they're spinning the narrative on how Ukraine is just the innocents and being completely bullied into losing their nation because of Russia, and it's the sorry guys, I am so out of it today. I'm exhausted. 5 days out in the woods with minimum gear, just that pack. I am freaking exhausted. Trying to keep my head straight. Keep losing track. I keep on looking in the chat here. Basically, all this starts because they want it to start. Survival makes a man out of you. This is something I always do, but this one here was a rough trip. 5 days out here in Florida with a little tiny pack, no food, no water. Everything I had to do was secure it myself. Yeah, it takes its toll. They wanted war. After they shut down our countries for 2 years, all the mandates, lockdowns, all the businesses that went out of work, all the civilians, people, all the citizens losing their rear end because they can't go to work because their jobs were shut down, new restrictions. They have to do something. War is big money. And if they want to push an agenda, if they want to go with a one world currency or a one world order, you need war to do it. It's funny. I see preppers, truthers here on the internet constantly screaming and hollering about one world order, the rapture, one world currency. You don't understand. But as soon as I start pointing out war and war being a means of doing it, they don't want to hear it. The fact is, just because you don't want to hear something because you're scared of it doesn't make it not true. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be preparing for it. And we should be prepared for it. If the United States gets involved, and they will, I shouldn't say if, when the United States gets involved, be prepared for something to happen here in the States. My belief, EMP weaponry will be used. Russia's already shown off their hypersonics. I know the United States says that they don't have any Operation Hypersonic weapons. We do. The United States never tells the public what they have and what they test. I mean, come on. Never do. As far as nuclear weapons on American soil, yeah, maybe some tactical nukes. Sure. I expect something like that. Small isolated events. There might be some in the larger areas. More than likely, though, EMPs knock out our infrastructure, shut down our powers, knock out communication. Russia was already showing their satellite killing missiles. We've already reported on that in the past, where they were knocking out satellites, and the United States didn't even know they even launched it until the satellite was blown up. Then they were able to figure it out. I tend to think an EMP is on the horizon. Yeah, so do I. There's just so much research out there. When China was doing all their research into EMP weaponry, taking a nuclear weapon and enhancing it for mass effect of a EMP blast, and that research was sold to other countries and everything else. China's in bed with Russia, Pakistan, Syria, India. All these countries are together. If it is a global conflict when it happens, it's going to be big. When they take down America, they checkmate everyone else. Hey man, did you get anything to eat out there in the sticks? Yep, we caught a catfish. We caught crawfish. What else did we get? Wild edibles in the area. Cactus, lichen, stuff like that. I filmed all that. It'll be a few days on the video because I got 5 days worth of footage to go through on 4 different cameras. Yeah, but Dab, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? So, I am actually breaking down camp. Well, what camp I got? Uh, Mylar blankets. So I got to get all that stuff packed up and head out. I still got about a mile to go. I can hear the road in the distance, so I got about a mile before I get there. No chemical attack is fake news. SK, if you would have been here when I first started, I was talking about that. It's more than likely a Fantastic Freddy. It's not fake news. It's still news. That's another damn thing I see from people. That's fake news. No, it's still news. You just got to figure out what's going on with it. If they're telling you something, you got to go through the narrative and actually look at what's really going on. And the fact is, if chemical weapons are being used, I guarantee you, it's a fast Freddy event in the United States is involved in some way to get us into a conflict with Russia. Because last month, President B there sitting there mouthing off that if they use chemical weapons, the United States is going to get involved. Will there be some serious consequences? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I've been out here in the sticks for 5 days. I still keep track of the news when I can. Get food and stuff put back, guys. Don't be playing around with this. Don't let your family starve. I was reading reports yesterday. Hay. Shortage of hay. You know, hay is going to be affecting our agriculture, right? As far as our beef, cattle, stuff like that. Now, part of that could be a bigger agenda of the ones that purchased up all the farmlands in the United States and just sitting on it, not growing anything. You know, Gates. There's a lot of agendas going around, and for all these things to be playing out, it makes me believe that these agendas are going to be falling in place really, really quick. They're going to be pushing something very fast, and a global conflict is definitely going to need to happen to get a lot of things to go in place. You're ready for a lot of freedoms to be taken away with new acts signed in. As example, Freedom Act, Patriot Act. Oh, I know, me and you, we didn't agree to it, but they did. They did their stuff. We didn't even have a say in it. I don't remember having anything put in front of me about the Patriot Act if I agreed with it or not, or the Freedom Act. How about you guys? Did y'all get to sign a piece of paper? No. No. Just be ready. I'll see you guys in a few days.